Hi everyone, and welcome to the August monthly vibes. This month is going to be a lot better than June and July. I'm really looking forward to this month. We're going to ease into this month. We're going to relax. We're going to take a bit of deep breaths. We're going to feel like, there's light at the end of the tunnel. I can see it now, or at least start to see glimpses of it and feel convinced of it. You know that feeling where you can see something and you can see that it's good and you see the evidence of it, but you can't quite digest it. You can't quite take it in. It's almost like it's not hitting home, so to speak. In August, we're going to see that evidence of good things to come. And this time, you're actually going to start to feel safer and safer to actually believe it. You're going to feel more connected to the reality of, wow, things are taking a turn. And this time, it's not that dreaded turn for the worst. It's actually a turn for the better. And this you will see in your environment. You'll see this just in life in general. You'll see it in your business. You'll see it in your friendships, in your dynamics. You also start to feel and see that in your sense of self. You actually start to feel that who you are, your personality, your identity, it starts to feel lighter. It starts to feel like there's a turning point coming in you. You can't quite put your finger on it, but you can feel it. And it's a positive feeling. It's a feeling of excitement. It's a feeling of, I can start to feel the changes. Everything that I've been putting into my personal development journey this year, the effort that I've been putting into, that is starting to become evident. And here is why. You know when you're so stressed and you always just try to survive and you're just coping and you're not really thriving anymore? Your focus is at the pain points that you're trying to deal with. Your focus is with the pain points that you're trying to overcome. And that means that you're not able to really, truly, fully digest how you feel. You're not really fully able to digest or see, okay, this is just stress, but what about all the good things and all the other positive things that are already around me? The good things that are already within me. But you can't feel that, you can't see it, you can't access it. Because all your energy and your focus is on dealing with the problems that's right in front of you. And where your focus is, that's where your energy flows, right? So that's also where your awareness is. So just because you can't feel the progress that you're making or have been making, emotionally, physically, and psychologically, doesn't mean that it has not been taking place silently in the background. Because that is exactly what has been happening since January. And especially since January. We were manifesting, we were getting excited thinking, woo, we're going to have such a great year. And then we plummeted again, and then we get back out of it again, and we plummet even a little bit more. 2 steps forward and 5 steps back. This year has been a bit of that dance, right? It's a bit of say it like a salsa dance, but it's not going very well. Like one partner's a bit quirky and the other one is trying to lead, and it's just all over the place. That's what this year a little bit has been feeling like. So, and that's what I love about August, because the stress that's been around you, the evidence of that stress, is calming down. And that means you can start to feel your sense of self a lot more deeper. And what could also happen in that same place and state, you're going to feel like, wow, this is powerful. This is me, and I love what I'm seeing. I love what I'm feeling. But sometimes we can get so overly excited. Even though this is positive, we can get really superly overly excited. And we can really ram into that, wanting to take full advantage of that, right? So imagine like this, the concept is like, and the message is to not overcompensate. Because imagine like you've been this plant, right? And you haven't had water for a while. And then suddenly you get this influx of water coming in, and you're just like, oh, this is so amazing. And you feel your roots, life is coming back into your roots, into the soil and back into your body. And I want water, more, just in case I don't have enough water for next week or next month. Give me more. But in that state of overcompensation, you can take on so much that you can actually end up drowning yourself in that positive new influx of necessities and needs that's coming through, or awareness that's coming through, emotional states that's positive that's coming through, that we can end up indulging a little bit too much into that. And this can make you feel, wow, all these projects, all these goals that I've been wanting to tackle and do. Let's do this, I'm excited. Yes, yes, yes. Right? So we can really go into that. And that's fantastic. You know what? Go for it. Let it rip. However, sometimes when we get so overly excited, especially with creative projects, and we get so overwhelmed with that overcompensation, we can step a little bit too much in our masculinity. I don't care if you're a man or a woman, we all have a masculine and feminine side, right? But the masculine side can come forward a little bit too strong, a little bit too determined, a little bit too competitive. And it can almost make you come across as being a little bit aggressive. But that aggressiveness is actually just your passion. It's just I'm a passionate person, yeah, let me go. But other people can maybe misinterpret that a little bit. So we don't want to alienate ourselves as well, because we want to share this beautiful positive state that we're all moving into with each other and within our family dynamics, within our friendships as well. And so that's the only slight plot twister that I would love to add here for this month, just to have an awareness of and to just be mindful of as well. Now, I did say a little bit of a plot twister, but also just keep in mind that this month, I can't help but feel, and I hope the vibes prove me wrong, I cannot help but feel that there might be a little bit of something that you really had your heart set on that might not necessarily go according to plan. Now, I'm not saying that things are going to be cancelled. It might just play out a little bit differently to what you envisioned, to what you wanted. Now, my word of advice is, as with all my other videos, as you know, I'm going to tell you to take a deep breath. Reassess. Be okay with it. Because here's why. Look at all the positive things that did go right compared to the negative things that didn't go right. Because you will see that the positive side of it is still going to be sky high. You will still like, wow, this is actually not that bad. Because sometimes when we're so excited about something and we have our mind set on it to play out in a certain way, and then it doesn't, that disappointment can be so great because the emotional attachment that we had towards the wish that's being fulfilled is so strong that when that is not realized in its fullest capacity in the way that we envisioned, it can make that feeling of disappointment tremendously big, much bigger than what it actually needs to be. And it's so big that you can't see the positive that is actually currently around you, the things that did go right. So it might be something that's really super small that's not going to go according to plan. But in August, you might blow it a little bit out of proportion. So just be mindful that it's okay if things don't go according to plan. So what? That's life. I mean, every day things are not always necessarily going according to plan. But this time I know you had an emotional investment in something really truly happening a certain way. But I can also tell you that my inner child can sometimes come out if I don't have things going the way that I wanted it to go. So I'm going to also have to take note of this because I have a jam-packed August with all my events that's coming up, which you can, of course, find out so much more at evetterose.com. And we have just so much happening. So I hope I can squeak by this vibe. We'll see. Also, another part that I wanted to quickly share here with you is for August, be tolerant of yourself, right? And here's the tricky part. In order for you to be tolerant of yourself, right? It means that you are also really super tolerant of others. But it's always easier to show something or give something to others rather than giving it to ourselves. So that level of tolerance, right, that you are able to show to other people and to loved ones, it's time for you to bring that back within. It's time to bring that home. Show that towards yourself. Give that towards yourself. You really, truly, deeply need it, and you deserve it. Because that tolerance, and here's the beautiful part of it, that tolerance that you're going to give to yourself, it's going to actually make you feel stronger. It's going to make you feel more motivated, more driven, more ready for anything that can potentially go wrong. Because if you're tolerant, it means that you're not punishing yourself, you're not arguing with yourself, you're not judging yourself, you're not being mean to yourself and pushing yourself into what I would call like into a can. You don't have to do that. No one can be creative when they're in that place and state, especially if that is coming from you. You have to spend every single day with yourself, every minute. So that criticism, that negativity is constantly following you everywhere. It's not like from someone else where you can walk away and take a break from, right? You can't really take a break from yourself. Here you are. And this is where you will continue to be. So let's look at that relationship of learning and understanding how to be tolerant of our own mistakes, our own shortcomings, and to be okay with that. And you actually notice and see that the more you do that, the more you are okay with that, the more creative you're going to become, the more sharper you're going to become, the more motivated you're going to start to feel, and the happier you're going to start to feel in your life. Very, very important transition here that August is going to ask you to do. These vibes are going to point it out to you. It's really going to point it out to you. You'll see and understand that when you look at your dynamics and you're thinking, oh my goodness, I'm so kind to everyone else, but I'm not getting that back for me. They're not showing it to me. Remember that your environment is a mirror of your inner world. So if you find yourself, if you catch yourself in that moment, I hope that you remember what I said today. Because it's very, very, very important. And it's very important because when you do that, you're at the same time, you're dedicating time, you're dedicating energy to your own presence. You're dedicating a level of awareness to you. And when you do that, it means that you're also dedicating that awareness, that self-compassion to everything that it is that you do. Because that's where everything comes from. Everything that you do and touch in your life comes from you. And if the starting point of all these things that you do and touch and create is positive and happy and feeling supported and patient with oneself, that's a beautiful, positive, powerful platform to build your projects, your goals on. It's a win-win situation, actually. Because at the end of the day, what's the benefit of punishing yourself? Nothing. It's just a very painful, unpleasant dynamic that you're creating with yourself. That's just not necessary. Okay, so I hope that you enjoyed this time here with me. And remember, guys, to subscribe, hit the subscription channel here and stay up to date because there's so many cool and great stuff coming up here. I'll be sharing so many free healing meditations with you as well, especially meditations during the week to help you to kind of like just navigate and guide yourself through these vibes on a weekly and a monthly basis as well. And join me also for the new moon and the full moon, which we'll be having also every month. So, guys, until then, also, join me on EvetteRose.com for awesome, cool events coming up to heal your quality of life. And until then, be the light that you are. Thank you for watching this video, and I'm sure that you learned a lot. So guys, subscribe to my channel here and also hit the notifications bar and so that you can get notified every time when I upload a new video. So guys, also remember to share the video and also look out for courses that I have below in the description bar. And until next time, be the light that you are.